and welcome to episode 97.
Yeah,
It's been an interesting week this week. How are you feeling today, Blair?
better than I have for the last few days.
Yeah.
So, it's been an interesting one this week.
Yeah.
A bit of a medical procedure, but anyone who's had a colonoscopy before will understand what I mean. It sort of involves about a day and a half of not eating.
And somebody being quite hangry.
Yeah, I don't do well not eating. So, it was a bit of a challenge, but we got through that and good results. So,
a bit naughty last night. Had a little drink.
To celebrate,
A couple of gin and tonics.
That's good, So anyway, we look forward to a bit more productive work stuff in the next few days.
To be fair, you didn't have much recovery time. We also played tennis in the afternoon after he had this procedure. He doesn't stop.
Well, I can't I can't forfeit tennis just because of a procedure.
Well, I did tell him he can only have a G&T if he played tennis, so I think it was
bribed.
slightly bribed there.
Anyway, right. So this week, what we're talking about is business planning, and last week we talked about validating your business idea, and doing a business plan is actually part of that process. So, I guess the key thing to outline with this is that planning is absolutely key for anything you do in life, particularly around your business. If you plan, it's everything is organized and going to happen the way you want it. The old saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, and that's got a lot of truths in it. So what are we talking about today? Well, basically a business plan it's actually a document, or it can be. I mean, there are software out there that you can use in the same sense, so it's digital rather than a physical document that you print out. But basically a business plan it looks at all the relevant parts of your business and it combines all those in one place. So, what things we're talking about. We're talking about financial. So, what your price, how your pricing is made up of your product, what your forecasts for profitability is, all of that stuff in financial. It's your marketing. So it's looking at your social media. What social media are you going to use in your business? What is are you going to do advertising? What's your ad spend going to be? So it plans out all of the marketing stuff.
It takes a lot of time to plan, but it's so key to the whole thing, really making sure you do put that time aside.
Yeah, because I think
plan it properly.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is, you can get so tied up in getting your business started that you don't have a direction, whereas a business plan helps you set a direction and keep on that direction. So, I guess other things you want to include in there is products, information about your product, what your different products are that you're going to sell, information about your suppliers, your materials, all of that stuff, and it's combining it in one place. The other key part of it is actually competition. So as part of your business plan, you're looking at your competition and you're going through, comparing your offering to them and how, you can beat theirs and what things they do well and what things they do bad and all of that stuff. So as part of that, it's a really good thing to be able to just put all of those ideas down in one spot. I mean, it's also, if you really wanted to spec your business plan, to be outside of just business, you can do stuff like, your own personal things as well.
Well, that's really important, because I think if you don't plan your personal side of it either, you'll then end up doing just business. And come on, we work to live, we don't live to work. And so it's so important that you look after yourself and you're doing lots of good things to all round to make you an all-rounded person and not just focus on your business, and it'll make you better at your business as well. And if you don't plan it in, you just won't do it. So we're talking here fitness, maybe meals and diet plans, even taking some time to do some meditation and thinking about your mind and keeping your mind healthy, and it's just, when you're going to do those things, don't just think, I need to do those things. Yes, I need to go to the gym. I need to go for a run. Well, no, actually have a specific morning or afternoon where that is what you do. And you put that in your planner on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, however, whatever you can put aside for these things is fine. That doesn't matter. It's what you can fit into your time and making sure you do it.
Yeah.
In
so
your schedule.
By putting that in your business plan, like bringing some of those personal elements into it, you're really making it more about you, and you like Emily said, you're tying your personal back to your business as well.
Personal and bespoke.
Yeah. So I think that's a really good sort of way to sort of upspec your business plan. And that way, you are covering all those bases and making sure that your personal life is working in check with your business life as well. So I think the business plan is all about also setting goals and a pathway to those goals. So if you outline all of those goals as part of your business plan, then you basically got an end point, and your business plan outlines how you're going to get there. So it's almost like a roadmap.
Yeah, so, and there's no right or wrong.
Health or fitness as well.
Yeah, and there's no right or wrong to the amount that you do.
No.
Not saying you should go to the gym every day or once a week. Well, it's whatever you can do to fit into your routine. It's personal to you. If you can only go and do exercise once a week, well, that's fine, as long as you put that in and you do that. But if you feel you've got the time and you need to be doing more things, then make sure you put those in. And it's really important. I always find, like, when I go for a walk or a run, it gives you that mental space and that mental kind of reset and fresh air.
An important balance.
It doesn't matter if it's a walk, a run, the gym, whatever.
So a lot of these things that you put in your plan, then you'll pull out as elements that you're going to do each week. So, if you've got goals to do, say, your fitness or say your marketing, you want to do that once a week to keep that consistent. And that's what we're talking about, doing things consistently. That's where you want to pull those points out of your business plan and put them into a calendar that reoccurs. So you've got reoccurring appointment blocks. And we've talked about that a wee bit already. So
we've got, just on another thing as well, with in terms of sort of planning your meals, we were talking, because we've started to just do little shops here and there. We've ended up by looking at our Visa bill and time, our days and weeks, and we've ended up going to the supermarket lately, like heaps. 4 or 5 times a week, doing little shops because haven't been really organized. So what we've said is, this weekend we're going to sit down and we're just going to go to the shops once a week, but make sure we really nail what we buy, because I always forget stuff, and Blair has always put the order in before I speak to him, and then he always like, oh, what can I buy? Something he's forgotten.
Yeah, so that's about me.
So that takes up time going to the supermarket. It takes up half a morning to keep going to the supermarket. So we're streamlining.
And that's what it's all about. It's streamlining everything you do. So you're most efficient at what you're doing, and that's a great example of even things in business. You can do the same sort of thing. You can get tied up in doing little bits here and there, and when it was far better to do it as one big block.
And we were kind of shopping, not knowing what we were going to be cooking that week. So I think it's good to plan what you're going to cook that week, and then you can make sure you get all the ingredients for those things, and not be like, oh, I need this or this.
Yeah, and obviously you're not going to go into that level of detail with your business plan, with anything business related or health and fitness related. You're going to use these as overall goals, and then you bring your actions out of that. So a business plan isn't meant to be 50 pages long and that sort of thing. You can actually do one in one page, and it's just bullet points of what you want to achieve. And for us, it's not going to the supermarket 4 or 5 times a week.
When you're talking about this business plan, you can do long-term, mid-term and short-term plans. So would you say you would start with the long-term plan, then break it down to your mid-plan, and then your short-term plan?
Normally you'll do a long-term business plan, and then you could have a mid-term one, which is sort of a bit more granular. But I think when you come back to the short-term stuff, it's really breaking it out into tasks. So short-term is actually...
But they're all leading to that long-term goal,
they are.
aren't they?
They are.
They don't
know... your business plan is a more general document. It's more sort of to control what you're going to do over 12 months or something.
Would you start with that?
Yeah, you start with that broader thing, and then you bring it down. But when you get to the short term, it really is breaking it out into tasks. It's not actually doing a 1 week business plan or anything like that. That will never work. There's no need to do that.
No, but it's your day. Then it's back down to your day to day, isn't it?
That's the thing. But they are tasks, so you're breaking it out into tasks. So I guess one question is, why do we do this? Well, as we've said, it's organizing your business and your life into specific, set parts. So one particular part of that is that competition stuff. And so we touched a wee bit out on this last week, which is a common thing in business plans is SWOT. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So that's when you can look at your strengths of your business, and list those out. Your weaknesses, what are your weaknesses that you have to work on? What are the opportunities, and what are the threats? So the threats is that competition side of it. Your opportunities, if you look at it from a fitness point of view, it might be, and you've got an opportunity to exercise once a week with a friend. So that's an opportunity that you want to take advantage of, because that means you're probably going to do your fitness more consistently if you have someone to help you out. So there's ways of thinking around that SWOT analysis, but it sort of forms an integral part of any business plan, and you will see that sort of acronym used in most business plan templates. So what you want to do is basically plan.
I missed that. What is SWOT?
SWOT, that's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So it sort of breaks out those sort of areas that you want to address for your business, and it shows where the weaknesses are and where the strengths are, and what it shows you where you need to work on, and what you need to what your good parts of your business already are. So once you've sort of done that, we basically want to look at the goals and the forecasts. So you want to set some long-term goals, and you want to set some forecasts. Forecast is normally that financial side of things. Obviously, your goals will be your fitness goals and things for 12 months' time. What it also does, a business plan helps, as we said at the start, helps you validate your business idea. So, if you go through a business plan and you've got this idea about, manufacturing a skipping rope, and then you work out that actually, once you've done your business plan, you see that the skipping rope actually isn't a good idea because of all these threats. There's so much competition out there. You've gone through and you've found that out in your business plan. You might actually change your product idea completely. So that's one other area of why you should do a business plan. And I guess the fifth element is if you're seeking funding. So you've got a business idea and you're going out to seek funding, or you're seeking a business partner. A business plan is a really good foundational document to be able to hand to these people and say, hey, look, this is the plan. This is what the product and the idea is all about. And they'll look through it, and that presents you as a real professional, and puts you in better light than just
serious about what you're doing.
That you're serious, that you've done the research, you've done the background. So I guess the next thing is, how do you do a business plan? On our website, emilyandblair.com, we've got a free template. We've got a couple on there. One is a one-pager, literal, very simple business plan, and one is a bit more of an extended version. And you can modify that to include your fitness and your health goals, like we talked about. The other one is Live Plan, which is a software-based business planning platform. You can go in there and register with them. I think they have a free trial or thing that you can use. And so that's another good one to go and try if you don't want to use a paper version.
Yeah, actually, we not opened it yet, but we've actually got a big board to go on the wall.
That's a more visual planner that we're going to use.
Yeah, and it's actually laid out with the week on it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, it's still sitting over there and wrapping.
It's still sitting on wrapping, but it's really good, and it's just a board, and we can just so we're sharing our calendars as well. You know, because we've found that plans we've done is trying to link it up really. And that's a really big visual way for us to do. Yeah, we're both quite visual people, aren't we?
Yeah, and I think with that live plan, I think that allows multiple users, so you can link together. We could use that and link together those sorts of any of that planning stuff. So I think there's a few footnotes with this, and one is business plans are only good if you're going to put practical measures to actually make a big part of it and actually implement those. There's no point in doing a business plan and then putting it away in a drawer and not referring to it. So you need to refer back to it, and you need to do that frequently, because if you don't, then basically what what's the use of doing it? It needs to be an evolving document as well. So you might do one for 12 months, but then in 6 months' time, your direction might have changed. So you go in and update it. But it's important to refer back to it, because remember, that's where your main goals have actually started, and all of the tasks to reach those goals stem from.
And it's really silly that you think without looking at it, you think you can remember what you've done.
Yeah.
And then, but actually, when it comes to it, and you get so involved in the day to day, you actually then are diverting away from those long-term goals.
Yeah. So
really
that's the really important part.
Because you really do. You forget.
Yeah, you do.
You don't think you will, but you do.
So that's kind of business plan. That's the next step in your sort of journey, is to get all of your information and all of what you're doing together in one sort of place. And so I guess, this week, start out by setting half a day aside, have a look at our website, download our free business plans, or have a look at Life Plan. We'll put the links to that in the show notes. But sit down, start your business plan, put it together, and add in your fitness and your health goals, and then try and break those down into bits that you can put into your calendar. And I mean, that'd be a great start to. And
if you're not working on your own, if you're working with somebody, meet regularly. Like even me and you, we live together and we're together and everything, but we do actually sit down specifically to catch up and have regular meetings to make sure we're both on the same page with everything. And
so that's an important part of your planning, is to look at how those individual tasks are going to be done. And if you are working with a partner, it might be that you're sharing those tasks out to achieve that same
it's
goal.
Important to delegate.
Yeah. So we've got joint goals that we want to do, but we're working on individual parts separately, and then we'll come together and sort of work those through. But so anyway, that's about all we've got time for in this episode 97.
No one's bored of listening.
Oh, no one will be bored of listening today.
Keep it short and sweet.
So anyway, thank you, Emily. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode, and we're getting quite close to episode 100, so we'll have to work out a special wee episode for that one, but that's in a few episodies' time. So
can we open a bottle of fizz?
We might open a bottle of fizz. That might be a good idea. Yeah, we might do a Friday episode and see how we go. Anyway, have a good week, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
See you.